In this WrestleTalk news, a so-called fan has been threatening Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara, a WWE faction is undergoing some changes, my review of SmackDown, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
It's a worrying and increasing trend we've seen of wrestlers, especially women, be sent death threats and abuse over social media, and the latest target of this has been Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara. Conti revealed on Twitter that one person had been sending messages to both her and Guevara every day since January and had threatened to do something to them in June. I won't get into the details of the messages themselves, but it's exactly what you think it is. Death threats, claims of wanting to own Conti, all the horrible details you'd expect. Conti also mentioned the name of the person in her tweet and said she was taking legal precautions in preparation. It's such a massive shame that this sort of behavior is now a regular part of having an online presence, and I wish Conti and Guevara the best in getting this sorted. A reminder, as always, to look out for each other, be kind, and don't be a dick. There's no easy way to transition out of that story into regular wrestling news, but here it is, a transition. For those who have been paying attention to SmackDown lately, sorry, but also Max Dupree, the renamed LA Knight who was the renamed Eli Drake, has been on SmackDown the last 2 weeks saying he's got his Maximum Male Models agency ready to bring to SmackDown, though it doesn't actually have any members yet. In previous months in dark segments on house shows, Dupree has been joined by both Mace and Mansoor as part of his Maximum Male Models, but it seems this won't be the case on TV. According to WrestlingNews.co, the current plan is to not have Mace and Mansoor align with Dupree on TV, as Vince McMahon changed his mind on them. But it has a nice ring to it. Max, Mace, and Mansoor in the Maximum Male Models. There's currently no word on who actually will be joining Dupree in his faction, but as it's WWE, plans can change at any time. WrestlingNews.co also mentioned that at one point a female was discussed being brought into the group, but now the name has been confirmed as Maximum Male Models. Maybe that one's less likely. It's been nearly 2 weeks since Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of Raw, and updates about it are still coming in, so provide the updates we shall. That's what we do here. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, it's not just a case of Banks and Naomi being suspended for their walkout, it's being suspended without pay. With their merch also being pulled from WWE's shop, it seems unlikely that either of them will be making much money, if any, while this saga continues. Interestingly, there was Banks and Naomi merch available to purchase from live events recently though, as it had been pre-printed. Meltzer also confirmed a few details that had been reported before, that WWE has the power currently to freeze their contracts if they wish to, and that both Banks and Naomi were due new deals soon in WWE, and Naomi had already been in talks about her renewal. There's a ton more news today that I don't have time for, like Jeff Jarrett returning to WWE in a high-level executive position, which is pretty nuts, all things considered, so head over to WrestleTalk.com for more. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, GMG Performance, where you can get 40% off their blue light blocking glasses by using our link in the description and the pinned comment. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I look at a bloody lot of screens on an average day. Checking my phone, working on my laptop, watching Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura from TakeOver Dallas for the 72nd time on my TV. No, I don't have a problem. The problem with all these screens that we look at is that they emit blue light, which can be seriously harmful for your eyes, giving you things like eye strain, headaches, and trouble falling asleep, the latter of which is a problem that's been plaguing me for years. But that's why GMG Performance's glasses are so great, as they act as a shield from this blue light, reducing eye strain, improving concentration, and the thing it's helped me the most with, helping preserve quality of sleep. Now, you may have noticed me wearing GMG glasses in various podcast episodes. Look at all these times that I've worn them before, so you know I truly do believe in them. And look at this case! It folds! It's the greatest! And now you can experience the glasses for yourself, which come in a variety of styles, by getting 40% off your order by using our link in the description. But this deal only lasts for 48 hours after this video goes live, so make sure you don't miss out. Clicking that link also helps us out too here at WrestleTalk. So glass, that glass. And now it's time for my review of SmackDown in about 5 minutes. The Usos began this episode of SmackDown after their undisputed tag title win, and they were in a very grateful mood, thanking Roman Reigns for letting them win all by themselves, thanking the fans for being there for them for the last 12 years before they did one of the weaker, surprise, I'm still a heel promos in a while, saying that they realized they didn't need anyone over the past 12 years. That's got nothing to do with thanking the fans for being there over the last 12 years. Normally, in these sorts of promos, you do a thank you for nothing, or I realized something important, that I didn't need anyone, but saying thanks and then saying you didn't need anyone doesn't make you seem like a deceptive, sneaky heel, it makes you sound insane. They were interrupted by Shinsuke Nakamura, who revealed that his partner and him want a tag title match and reveals his partner to be Riddle. They brawl and the babyfaces stand tall. I really like this pairing in terms of the story, with both of their partners being injured courtesy of the Usos, sort of. But it does raise the question of what Randy thinks about Riddle immediately joining another tag partner. Never mind, it got answered in a backstage promo as Riddle said it was Randy's idea. Oh. Okay. Cool, I guess. Just thought it might have been some character development there, like some internal conflict from Riddle about the abandonment of Orton, the drive to win the tag titles back, maybe in honor of Orton, but tagging with someone else, but whatever, who needs character development? As I've mentioned the past few weeks, whatever the first match on SmackDown has been lately has been given a bunch of time and is a very good match. So when the first match looked like it was going to be Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Rodriguez, again, I was intrigued. Taking aside the fact, of course, that why are they doing this match again so soon? The previous match made Raquel look great and like a future contender after some more big wins, not in contention for another shot right away. But as Raquel is making her entrance, Shotzi is backstage mobilizing the women's locker room. She tells Xia Li she's undefeated in WWE. No, she isn't. She tells Aaliyah that she has the quickest win in history. Aaliyah tells her to shut up. She tells Natalya and Shayna Baszler that they need to sort out this problem of Raquel getting another potential title shot before them. Then it cuts to an ad break, then it's the backstage promo with Riddle and Nakamura, where Riddle said it was Randy's idea to team with Nakamura. Then it cuts back to the women's locker room, where Shotzi, Natalya, and Baszler are ready to go and interrupt this match. But after Shotzi doubles back to get her helmet, very important, Aaliyah locks her inside the locker room. How did Aaliyah have the key? Why didn't she lock in Baszler and Natalya if she didn't want this match to be interrupted? Maybe she didn't care about the match and just cared about messing with Shotzi, which... sure, I guess. This was weird. I sure was invested in that Raquel versus Ronda match now though, now that I know for sure it's going to be interrupted, and interrupted it was, with Baszler causing the DQ, it cutting to an ad break, and it's a tag team match player when we come back. The thing that made Raquel's match against Ronda before so good was that Raquel got in a ton of offense and looked really strong in defeat, something that we haven't seen before. But because WWE absolutely has to stick to their formula of a tag match, Raquel got worked over in the match for the Ronda hot tag. Raquel did end up getting the pin in the end, but this was just another match and didn't make anyone feel special or different at all. Money in the Bank is being moved to the intimate confines of the MGM Grand Arena. Nice save, Cole. New Day did a promo saying their mystery partner could be anyone. We got a recap of Corbin attacking Moss, again. And then we had Los Lotharios versus Jinder Mahal and Shanky. I don't know if you guys can tell, this was a filler show. Los Lotharios did their entrance, Jinder's music hits, but no one enters. Cut to backstage and Jinder has lost Shanky. He finds him in a room backstage dancing to their entrance music, grabs him, and then they do their entrance. They have a nothing match where both teams did some sexual harassment in the form of dance to the ring announcer. Great. Shanky saved her from the evil Angel Garza and his creepy advancements to her by beating him up and then doing the same thing. What a babyface. Jinder got pinned in all the sexual aggression and then got mad at Shanky afterwards, who stood his ground and then did some more dancing. I don't think I need to add any more than that. This segment was atrocious on every level. Everyone's an idiot coming out of it, and Shanky being a moron and dancing is not going to endear him to fans. Max Dupree is backstage and is on SmackDown now. I'd assumed as much. Raw's Kevin Owens is here now, and his special guest is a member of the Bloodline, which of course was Sami Zayn, because of course it was. The two begin to get along, Sami saying that Elias and Ezekiel are clearly the same person. Owens calls Zayn the advisor to the Bloodline, it's all going great, but Owens tells Zayn to come back with him to Raw to help stop Elias, but Zayn refuses, saying SmackDown needs him. The Bloodline needs him. Tensions flare. Sami reveals that he was lying. Elias and Ezekiel are clearly different people. Owens calls Zayn a moron because the Bloodline don't care about him. Zayn calls Owens a liar, pants on fire, and Owens says, that's too far, and Zayn apologizes. This was great. Owens called out the Bloodline to come to the ring, but they don't, and reaches out to Zayn, saying the reason they didn't come out is because they don't care about you, Sami. Not like I do. Sami refuses to see it that way, walks away, and when Owens tries to catch up to him, Sami pushes him into the barricade and walks away, leaving Owens shocked and trying to reconcile with his friend. Why is this the best character development they've done in forever? Ricochet and Drew Gulak faced Walter and Ludwig Kaiser next, which Kaiser actually won with a kick, like a penalty kick, just a kick to the chest. Cool. Sami Zayn is back with the Usos backstage, asking them what he means to them, pleading to be an honorary member of the bloodline, which they say he is, dismissively. Nice. And we got the main event of the Brawling Brutes versus the New Day and their mystery partner. Wait, no, sorry, first let me get this right. The Brutes made their entrance, then it was an ad break, then a Memorial Day tribute, then Sheamus did a promo in the ring that was very long to say not much at all, then Woods and Kingston came out and did a promo that was also very long to not say anything, then Drew McIntyre was revealed as their partner, never would have seen that one coming, couldn't have guessed it, then there was another ad break, then they advertised Money in the Bank moving, and then they announced Riddle and Nakamura will be getting a championship contenders match against the Usos on Raw. Then they announced that Madcap Moss is coming back to SmackDown next week, and then the match starts. Guys, come on. I've not complained about pacing on these reviews for a while, though pacing has always been a problem, but this is particularly egregious. Good God. The match was fun enough by the end, everyone doing big moves, the classic WWE six-man tag formula. McIntyre hit the Claymore on Holland and allowed Woods to tag in to get the pin after his elbow drop. And that was that. That was a bad show. There was so much filler on this show, and of course no Roman Reigns severely hurts it too, as he can feel like the only important one at times. There was some very bad pacing and writing on this episode too, and the wrestling was, at best, fine. This is a low 2 out of 5 show, saved by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Tempest is off on holiday today, so no review of Rampage from him, but subscribe to the WrestleTalk podcast channel, as it'll be me and Sat Inyangi doing the review of SmackDown and Rampage later today. Now, hear more about WWE's Money in the Bank disaster.
In this WrestleTalk news, WWE suffer a major ticket sale fail and has to move Money in the Bank. WWE higher-ups not convinced Stephanie McMahon can carry out her role, and so much more.